Hi, I'm Rama. I'm going to show you some of my landscape oil paintings that I have done for this week. So I hope you would stay tuned and see how they look. The first painting I'll be making is based on this picture taken during a hike at Gulugod Baboy. This small mountain, in which its name is translated as Pig Spine in English, is located in Batangas, a province down south from Manila. This climb was still in 2016, but it was made memorable because of friends who were also in the trip. I'll add washi tapes to the edges of the canvas pad first to keep them clean. I don't have to make a perfect copy when I make landscape portraits, but I try my best to make them similar to the original shapes of the mountains or hills. I'll be using three major basic colors in this painting: yellow, blue, and white. I'll start painting the sky and clouds first because this is the very background of the picture. I'll also add first the farthest mountain, which is colored dark blue. I try to make the clouds fluffy by tapping the tip of the paintbrush with white paint. The green color used to color block the mountains was a mixture of blue and yellow. Then I add a bit of burnt umber for the darker parts of the mountain, and a bit of yellow as well for the lighter parts. To add a grassy texture on the mountain, I tried to make light brush strokes to create thin grass-like lines. I suppose these little figures are people reaching the summit, but my brush was not thin enough to make them look like people. Instead, I think they look more like rocks. Nah, I'll just pass that one for now because I think I'm satisfied with what I did. Because there are only a few colors in this painting, I was able to pull it off in only about an hour and a half. Next is the silhouette landscape of our trip at Maranat Falls, which was at 2016 also. If Gulugod Baboy is in the south, then Maranat Falls is located in a province north of Manila, which is Bulacan, my province actually. However, I find the actual location confusing because it also borders in another province, which is Rizal. One has to trek a long way before getting to the falls. Even my sneakers gave up. Painting silhouettes is one of the easiest because it mainly involves a single dark color. But before going there, I have to paint the sunset first because it is the background. I first thought burnt umber is good for the silhouette, but I decided to make it darker with black. I just have to be careful with the leaves and coconut trees so the sunset would not be ruined. This one's also quick because it also took about like 1.5 hours. Lastly, the Sea of Clouds at Mount Pulag. Mount Pulag, the third highest mountain in the Philippines and the highest one in Luzon, was my first major climb. This goes the same to some of my friends in the trek. The journey took about 6 hours in one way, but the Sea of Clouds is the best reward you could get from this hike. I put a washi tape to make a straight line that will separate the clouds and the sky. This technique is usually used in acrylic paintings, but I am confident that this will also work in this oil painting because I have already tried it in another oil painting before. I'm going to use bright red and yellow to create the sunrise. I honestly find oil paints easier to blend than acrylics because of its slow drying feature. Then I put blue darkened with burnt umber to create the horizon. This color is being lightened as it comes closer to the sunrise part. After using a big-sized brush for the horizon, I'm shifting to a smaller one to create the clouds. Since the clouds are reflecting the color of the sunrise, I'm using orange to paint them. I'm also adding white for the brighter parts of the clouds. Let's now remove the washi tape to see if it works. The washi tape technique did not disappoint because it really made a neat straight line. Now let's paint the Sea of Clouds. Although the paint in the horizon part is not yet fully dried after an hour, I'm putting washi tape on it so that the clouds will not overlap the horizon. I just hope that the tape will not destroy the paint, so that's why I'm trying to tap it lightly. After color blocking the clouds with bluish gray, I add wavy black lines to show the shadows on the clouds. My apologies because I was not able to record the rest of the process. I forgot to click the record button. So here we are now in the part of the sun. So what happened was that I added white paint to the clouds to reflect the light that is coming from the sun. And this white little spot here is the rising sun itself. As you can see, the washi tape technique also worked in this area because the paint was not damaged when I removed it. Yes, this picture made me miss the sunrise and nature even more. Do you also love going out on trips? I'd love to hear your stories in the comment section. So, landscapes has been my favorite subject when it comes to making portraits. I've made the first ones when I was in high school. My favorite one among them was the one that I made for a project, although it was just a copy of another painting. And since then, I was trying to make portraits even though I really didn't have a model for them. When I started painting again, that was during the start of the pandemic in March 2020, I started to re-explore painting landscapes, especially one that was based on a picture of a trip that we had. I really love to go out just to paint, if you would ask me. That's all for now, and I hope you would continue to join me in my art journey and hope to see you soon. Bye! And if there are no restrictions by now, I would do so. Most especially if I have a car, but I still don't have a car. I will soon have a car. I'm declaring it by faith. Thank you, Lord. I really love to make landscape portraits.